Hello everyone, this is Aniket Kumar of section 19 and this is my DIY project which I like to call the smart room. My brother inspired me to make this project as he would often leave the room with the lights turned on and the fan still running, which wastes a lot of electricity. And while thinking of a solution to that problem, I came up with this idea. As we can see in the circuit representation, I have the Arduino Uno board, I have a breadboard, a potentiometer, two resistors and an LCD display, all of which are connected to a photoresistor, a motor, a light bulb, a PIR sensor and an oscilloscope. Let me quickly explain what happens before we get into the simulation. The PIR sensor detects small changes in infrared ray concentrations through small temperature changes of a crystal which is located inside of it, indicating, in this case, a person. This change in temperature gives a high output, which tells the bulb and the motor to turn on. In addition to the PIR sensor, I have included a photoresistor, which also controls the bulb so as to make sure it does not switch on during the day to save further electricity. Now let us go into the simulation. As we can see, when I move inside the PIR sensor region, let me move it for better clarity, the oscilloscope shows that the reading is high and, both the bulb and the motor are running. If I do the same during the day, we can see that the oscilloscope still shows that the PIR sensor reading is high, but only the fan runs in this case. The bulb is switched off. Now let me stop the simulation and we can get into the code. Unfortunately, the LCD display did not have a block, so I had to code it manually. As we can see, I started off with declaring several variables, after which I decided which appliances are output and which appliances are input. In this case, the light bulb and the motor are output devices, and the PIR sensor and the photoresistor are both input devices. After which I created a loop. The loop continuously takes in the reading of the PIR sensor so that it can give an accurate description as to whether a person is in the room or not, and hence control if the motor or the bulb should run. In addition to this, as we can see over here, I've included an additional constraint to the bulb so as to make sure that the bulb does not turn on during the day. Let me start the simulation and you can see in the serial monitor the changes of reading of the photoresistor as I change the time of day. As we can see, during the night it's a very high reading of 1017, and as we move it to the day it gradually decreases to 344. As we can now, for the total demonstration, we can see if we move inside the PIR region sensor, the oscilloscope shows a high output and both the bulb and the fan are running. I've uploaded the code to Arduino IDE, which under the tools, as you can see, I have included the Arduino Uno board. And if I verify this, as we can see, it is compiling right now and it has successfully compiled, thus indicating that the code will run. Thank you everyone and goodbye.